welcome to another micro teach. This one is about the importance of referencing. And as it's a micro teach, this can be a shorter session. You can always go on and see our mini teach session, which is about half an hour long, which covers both referencing and plagiarism as well. Today, I'm just going to show you a couple of websites that can help you with referencing if it's something you particularly struggle with.
What is referencing? Well, it's to use outside sources to give evidence to support or contradict points in a discussion that you're making. By referencing the evidence correctly, one can identify which points are your own thoughts and which are someone else's, which you've used to give a platform of your findings. Referencing allows others to identify outside research material that is not your own original idea. It gives credit to authors of work you've used within your text and can provide further facts and information that might not be known to the reader itself. This allows the reader to be able to follow your source material to learn more about the topics themselves if they wanted to later on. So why should you include quotations within your academic writing? Quotations reinforce your idea and make you seem more credible. This could also be in a short paraphrased version of a paragraph of information you want to use. The point is not necessarily your original idea, so you need to paraphrase and reference that you have paraphrased this article, book, website, wherever your source has come from. Quotes provide a map of discovery which a reader can explore for themselves to compare against your findings. Someone may want to find out more information about some of the sources you've used, and they can follow your bibliography, your citations, to find the direct route where you found that initial source. Well, here's some websites that can help you with referencing. We're not expecting you to be able to pick up a book and know straight away exactly the information you need to put down for referencing a book correctly. But you also might not be doing a book. Remember, you can do things such as social media sites, you can do videos, you can do DVDs, you can do online sources, you can do a podcast. There are all different ways of referencing these materials, and each one is slightly different from the last. So let's have a look at what some of these do. So this is my bib. Here we've got it selected as a Harvard style, so it's going to generate in one particular way. It's one of the most popular ways. You can select many different versions, but usually you want Harvard referencing. We can also share this with other people. We can import references. There are many different things we can do with this. So to begin with, I could start a new project, and I might call this, for the moment, I've got an Alice in Wonderland book, so we'll just do Alice. So maybe I'm writing a paper on Alice in Wonderland. I don't know. But it's a very simple page, quite simple and easy to look at. We can add a reference. Here we're going to have this toolbar come up. Now, it might be that I've looked at a website. I could quite easily just copy and paste a link in there. It could be a book, it could be a journal, a video, but it might be that, say, I'm looking at a TED Talk. Well, I can look even further and go into all of these, and there's like interviews, journal article, legislation, news article, websites, videos, podcasts. There are many different ways, but this will help you to start to begin what you need to look at. So for now, I'm just going to go with book. And I can either search for the book. So this book is Alice Curious and Curiouser from the V&A exhibition. So I could start typing in, and then it comes up there, and it's given me some examples. To begin with, we want to see, so we've got Alice in Wonderland, Curious and Curiouser, which is Lewis Carroll. But as I said, it's from the V&A Museum. So to begin with, I can't see the author on this book because it's the kind of glossy exhibition edition. So if I were to go inside the book and start reading, I'd see that the author is indeed, in fact, Katie Bailey and Simon Shaden, which is where we've got there. But also I can look and it says publisher, Victoria and Albert Museum. So I could select it and it gives me all this information. Fantastic. It's told me the date it was published, who was the publisher, where it was published. And then we've got this, the ISBN number. If I just say, yeah, save, that then comes up on my list. Fantastic. At the back, we've got this barcode. And here at the top, we've got this ISBN number. Now, this is going to be in any book. So we could simply add the reference by going to a book. And then here we've got search book title or ISBN. So I could type in this really long-winded number, which is 978-1, and you've got to remember to keep the dashes, -8, search. And immediately it'll come up with the straightaway answer. So if I wasn't quite sure who the author was, like I said, I had a long list of Alice in Wonderland possibilities. I could type in the IBSN number and it will come up with the exact one I'm after. If I'm writing my bibliography, I want this really long one, which is Bailey, Kate, and Simon. I want that whole top one to go in my bibliography. If I'm just quoting inside a text, so some bits you might not need a bibliography. If you're doing, say, a quick exam answer, you might just want to put the citation in there. We'd use this smaller version, which is in brackets. So we've got the surname of the two authors and then the name of the book. In this case, we've got the page number we're working with. So that's a really quick way to get a reference of a book. And it's the same with Cite This For Me. So let's go with one more and let's find a website. So we've got Mind Tools, helping with Gibbs Reflective Cycle. So it might be that something in this website has been really, really useful. So we can literally copy and paste the website, add new reference, website. This is the easiest one to do. You copy and paste your website into there. And because all the information is on the website already, it cites it through. So simple as that. We've suddenly got a Harvard reference site, and this is what they can find. Sometimes they can't find information like authors, publishers, publication date, and sometimes we have to go without that information. Other times you have to look into the website itself and have a look further. So it might be that actually by the Mind Tools content team is your author. So, but it hasn't picked that up. So you can then write that later of by the Mind Tools content team. So we'd write that in afterwards. So you go continue, something like that. And then date you accessed it. So it's immediately thought about today, which is great, but it might be I looked at this last week. I can change the date of when I looked at it and I can attach the quote that was particularly the one I wanted and then add citation. And then it is here. So as we said, referencing, it can be quite simple once you get your head around it. And if you struggle with the idea of Harvard formatting, using one of these websites can really, really help you. It will also mean that if you reference properly, you will then not get any plagiarism spikes when we run your work through a plagiarism site software. So again, here's a couple of examples. Cite This For Me. So I was showing you that example. So here is the in-text citation, Gibbs Reflective Cycle, helping people learn from experiences. And here's what would go in the bibliography citation. Here's my bib referencing a journal. So here we've got DOI number that we could type in and that would also find it. So like with the book we had with the Alice in Wonderland and we searched the ISBN number, with a journal there might be a DOI number that we can search to make it quicker. Bib Guru, now I didn't show you this website. This is another fairly easy one to use. You can create a project and go from there. And again, you can search books, websites, articles, and more. So here we looked at a TED Talk, which is a video. And this one was to do with, we need all kinds of minds. So I found the video on TED Video Talks. You can also find it on YouTube, so I could have used either one. And I searched for a video, typed in the web link that I found it at. It told me the author, who was the speaker at the time, when it was done, the name of the video, that conference it was called, and then it was TED Talks that published it. So as I mentioned before, you don't have to just sample books or websites for referencing. You could look at blogs, podcasts, online videos, pictures, paintings, animations. There's loads of things. There's a big variety of media you could be referencing, and they all have a slightly different way of referencing. So here's a couple of examples of it starts to change. So here with the blog, it came from Oxford Science blog. So you then got the catalogue that the blog came from, and then when it was posted and when the viewer viewed it. And then we've also got the link. And then in the citation, we'd have, again, the author and the date it was posted. So as I said, there's slightly different ways to reference different media. And one of the tips is you can easily check this has been done correctly by looking at library referencing guides. You can do this by walking into a library or searching on a digital library, and they can easily be found online. So these examples have come from library guides in particular. And again, I've referenced to show where I found them.
Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope that's gone some way to help you in understanding a little bit more about referencing and why it'll be useful on your apprenticeship.